Hi, I'm Stephen Parrillo, and welcome to the Gagoot Show. Our special guest tonight is Gambina, and we also have Cooking Italiano, Alfredo Gagoots, and a very special video from Frank's Waiting Room. And now, here's our host, Benny Rizzuti.
Hey, thank you, Stephen. That was wonderful.
I tried.
And our lovely co-host, Nicole LoMonaco.
Me.
Welcome.
I forgot about
That's all right.
You forgot about her.
And she's one of those forgettable characters.
Yeah, right.
She's your best friend in the whole world.
She kind of is.
Yeah, I totally
So, this is, the Gagoot Show is the show about stand-up comedy, for stand-up comedians, and for the people who love stand-up comedy.
am. And not for auto mechanics.
And not for all of
Inside jokes, none of those.
Inside jokes are no good, but I'm sure by the end of the show, you will know what this auto mechanic is. The auto mechanic who sells Lysol. Let me just put it that way. So if you've watched the show, you know what the Lysol reference is to.
Yeah.
It's one of those callback. It's a callback.
It's
Yeah,
one of
but
those
it's a
things that we
callback
use.
from.
It's a callback.
It's a
yeah.
callback from weeks ago.
Yes.
No,
all right.
unfortunately.
So how was everybody's week?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Did a couple of shows over the weekend.
What'd you do? Where were you at?
On Saturday, I was with John LaRocchia at Middle Village in Queens at St. Margaret's, I believe it was, Catholic school. We did a little fundraiser there, and on Sunday, I did a show with him at MacArthur Airport.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Saturday night, was it?
No, it was Sunday.
Oh,
wait. Wait. I think
It was Saturday night.
Whatever.
How did it go?
It was one of the weirdest. I can cross that off my bucket list now. Airports on my comedy scavenger hunt.
All right.
So, in an airport, now where in the airport did they do this?
Have you been to MacArthur Airport?
Yes.
All right, you know right where that little bar is across from the gift shop?
Yeah.
It was like right there.
Like a Fridays, like a TJ.
Yeah, kind of like
yeah.
that. It was like right at that little bar.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it was cool, nice little room. I emceed the show, and we had Angela Cobb, John LaRocchia, and J.J. Boyd headlined it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
JJ, who was on our first show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
But what did you have? People that were just coming in, sitting with their bags?
We had 3 flights come in during the show. But we had like an audience of about like 25 people, I would say. Nice. It was nice.
That
you
is
know?
cool. That's a good spot to do one. I didn't even think of that.
You going to do it all the time?
That I don't know. I think that's up to John. And I think JJ like works there or something like that. I think. Don't quote me on that.
He's like the janitor there?
No, not the janitor. I think he does like.
He fuels the planes. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
I don't know what he does there. We didn't discuss that on the show.
Shh. No, he's a comedian. We're all comedians. We don't have day jobs. Those are hobbies.
Yes.
Right.
Stand-up comedians are not supposed to have a day job.
No.
You're supposed to act as though you're making all your money. And if I was making all my money in stand-up comedy, I'd be living in a refrigerator box next to Stephen Parrillo.
I'm not homeless. I'm in between apartment buildings. By that I mean I live in an alley in between apartment buildings.
And he sleeps in the dumpster, right?
No, I live in my Lincoln Town car.
Hey, I got some relatives who they lived in a Lincoln Town car, but they didn't live that long.
They were in the trunk.
In the truck.
I was trying to work on a bit about comparing a Lincoln Town car to a hearse. It's like because they're both made by Lincoln, you know, like hearse are mostly made by Lincoln, I think, right? Or Caddy, like whatever. It's like the difference.
Caddy,
is,
Lincoln, same thing.
Yeah.
It's like one's
Both
just
have
a little
large
bit more
trunks.
fancy. But what I'm saying is, you know, in the hearse where you have that big back area where you put bodies in, a Lincoln Town car you have that big trunk where you can put bodies in.
Only in Italian with
Yes.
that.
Yes.
A nicer trunk.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't care if the car rides are good. You got a bigger trunk. I just need a bigger trunk.
Is that an innuendo?
It's a joke.
I don't care how it rides.
I get in trouble for my Italian jokes. Oh, bigger trunk.
Oh,
What do you think I'm talking about?
A bigger trunk.
Bigger trunk. Junk in
We're
the
trying
trunk.
to keep it family friendly, Mr.
Oh,
Rizzuti.
my
You know,
goodness.
I had this idea once of putting pockets on underwear.
I like that
Wouldn't that
idea.
be cool? Pockets on it. This way you could really keep your junk in the trunk. Victoria would have a place to keep her secrets.
I like that. I like that
You
a
like
lot.
that?
Yeah.
Underwear with pockets. Let's try that.
I
Hey,
would get those.
Maybe-
Didn't you have?
maybe they can advertise on our show.
Maybe. Didn't you have an interesting idea about the belt thing? What was that?
I'm not telling anybody that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you guys yet.
Well, you just told your patented idea.
No, mine's actually a good idea.
Oh, Benny, I like your idea. Yeah, waste all your money on that. That's
On a
great.
very special episode of the Gagoot Show.
No, I
But-
can't
No,
tell
she's
you guys
right.
yet.
No.
This one's solid. Like it's
Because
going
remember, this is a
places.
global network.
Yes.
People are watching this all over the world.
And it doesn't have a patent on it yet, and it's a good idea. So when it comes about, I'll let you all know, and then you can buy it.
Oh, great.
But anyway, how
You're
was
going to be
all?
on Shark Tank?
Maybe I will be on Shark Tank.
Okay, how was the rest of your week?
We both did a show last night at Revolution in Amityville. That was a show. It was nice. So I was me, you, John Consoli, Rob Civitanis, Justin Watts. It's ran by Adam Parsons. It was good. We had a nice time.
Wow,
We had a lot of
that's
laughs.
some good comics.
Yeah.
too.
I mean, amongst ourselves, we had a lot of laughs, but it was good. It was a good
Comedy
night.
in-joke night?
Yeah,
It was
an-
very comedy and joke night.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of audience? Did you have actual people?
It was my mom and like two people.
Oh,
Two
really?
people she brought. Yeah, so it was a great crowd.
My mom saw me maybe twice and then said, well, you'll find something.
Oh.
I remember I did a show one time with Peter Bales was hosting it. And I'll bring up another story about Peter Bales after. Anyway, friends of mine, my wife Nancy came with three of her friends and this guy I used to work with, Rick, who was Jamaican. So they all sat together. So Peter Bales gets on and says, oh, Benny brought his pimp.
Oh my
But
God.
it was my wife and a friend, so it was funny. We laughed. Anyway, Peter Bales, like over 20 years ago, did the first stand-up comedy show in an actual airplane.
Really?
While it was flying, yes. And
That's
I remember
interesting. I
it
didn't
was
even-
in the Newsday. That's how I knew about it.
He just got up and started.
No, they
He's,
was
booked,
like
he's like the Wright
prepared?
brothers of
they,
comedy.
they actually booked him. I guess it was an idea someone had. They booked him for a small flight, like a flight to Connecticut from here or something.
That's pretty awesome.
And he would know better, but I read about it, and then they quoted Bales, because he said, yeah, it was very interesting doing stand-up comedy on a plane, and I intend to be the first stand-up comedian on the space shuttle.
His career would be skyrocketing.
But he
See what I did there?
You're a comedic genius. I don't know why you're not doing real TV. I really don't. I have no idea at all.
Oh God.
That's a nice.
These are some of the jokes you wrote, right?
Listen, puns are the highest form of literature.
Oh.
John Houseman?
No, that was my Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh,
I tried.
Alfred.
He said that. Did you know that?
No.
Alfred, it was an interview back in when he was around.
I loved Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, his movies were great. He was on an interview show. I forgot the name of the show, but he did a pun, and then the host was like, "You love all sorts of horror, don't you?" And then Alfred Hitchcock's like, "No, puns are the highest form of literature."
It's more like John Houseman because Alfred Hitchcock was good evening. Good
Well, not-
evening. It was. I remember
Whatever.
when we did the shower scene in Psycho.
No, you gotta turn your head to the camera so they see your profile.
When we did the shower scene in Psycho, that had to be on paper.
I'll send you the link
We
tonight.
wrote it on paper. I swear I saw him in it. You have to put your ideas on paper. That's Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay, all right. You beat me. You stood me
Oh,
up.
that's
You
funny.
happy,
Yeah.
Mr. Rizzuti?
Spit on everyone in front of you. Good evening. I'm
I
going to,
guess-
from now on, when I say we're back, we're back. Welcome to the Gagoots Show. We're a live Gagoots.
I'm not sure how much time we have before we go back at the break, but I want to mention this one thing.
Yes.
I also before I did the show at MacArthur, I videotaped and photographed CVGB's Clean Comedy All-Star Show.
Yes, which I want to know all about that show. We're going to talk about that during other. That's a great idea. Stevie GB is coming out with these great comedy concept ideas, and he's putting them forth. And he's doing one-man shows. He's doing the Legends of Comedy. Rich Walker is Abbott. They do Costello.
Yeah.
They do Abbott and Costello.
Eric Haft.
With Eric Haft. And Stevie GB ends it with he is Groucho Marx, and he does an incredible Groucho Marx. He really does. Especially the older Groucho, as it gets older, you really believe by the end of the show. I saw him do it twice, and by the end of the show, you think it's Groucho Marx.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
It's really a fun show to witness, and I was just happy that.
And the clean comedy.
Yeah, it was very fun. Older crowd, because the older crowd likes the cleaner stuff, But they had about 80 people, I would say. Very nice crowd.
I want to say that I love Stevie GB. I think he's one of the greatest comics on Long Island. And it would really be cool, not that you don't have to ever book me for a show, Stevie, but it would be nice if you did. I can be clean, I swear, I can be clean. And if not, I will send Alfred Hitchcock to your house. Alfred Hitchcock. That's how he died, the poor guy. They thought he was just talking. Who's he talking to? Now the guy's choking at that. They thought he was doing an interview. All right.
Oh, goodness.
We've had a lot of fun. Now we will be back after this. We're going to go to a video. We're going to go to a video of this great. You're going to find out about this person in this video. It's Frank's Waiting Room, and the video is called Chiropractical Joker.
Yes.
And then we'll be back after that.
Yay!
Yay! You're watching The Gadooch Show.
My coat, just throw it on a chair. Oh.
All right, let me help you. I'll just kind of spot him, I guess. It's hot.
That's good, thank
Good,
you.
just
You're
take your
welcome.
time.
Thank you. Wow,
It's the right place, that's a
that
good
was great. No, it's okay. I don't need another appointment. I'll be fine. You're amazing. You are just amazing. This was incredible. I can do my yoga. I can teach. I can go back and teach my class in a half hour. I've been to her. She is amazing. She turned my neck, stretched my back. I could feel all my vertebrae crack. Starting here, starting now. Doctor, I can do all of my poses. Happy ending. Now I feel I can sing. Happy ending. Look at me now, I am bending. B-E-N-D-I-N-G. I feel swell. I feel great. I may dig up my old roller skates. Starting here, starting now. Doctor, everything's coming up roses for me. Oh, my back!
And we're back here on the Gagoot Show with our special guest, Ann Gambina.
Yeah, and welcome to the Gagoot.
Hello. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yes,
Thanks for inviting me.
absolutely. How was your week going so far?
For what's today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Not too bad.
Haven't messed it up yet.
That's
Tuesday
awesome.
night,
No screw-ups. So, how did you first get involved in doing stand-up?
Never in a million years did I imagine myself ever doing stand-up. If you would have asked me 5'8", I would have been like, no way. I actually took the class to help me with my public speaking.
Which class did you take?
Oh, I took a class at Brokerage in Belmore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I took that class.
So I took a class. I took a class to help me with public speaking, never intending, even on actually doing the graduation show. I was not going to do the graduation show.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you ended up doing
I
it?
barely made it through the show. The week before, the last class before our actual show, I totally went blank. I mean, completely blank. I stood there and could not think of a thing. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting up in front of people I know. But then sure enough, I just like, no, I got to do this. So I just practiced, and I don't know if at that point I was going to open mics or not yet. And read everything you could on public speaking and on stand-up, and I was reading blogs and watching videos, and I just immersed myself for a week, and then I just got up there and like, I did it.
Good.
So, and then I started going to open mics and getting on shows, and haven't been doing the public speaking at all. I've been only doing the stand-up.
And you enjoy it now? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen you a few times.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a full performance. I've only seen you at open mics, but you're very funny. You usually get a good response.
Thanks.
Do you have any big shows coming up?
No, I just did a show this past Saturday in Manhattan, the Metropolitan Room, but no, I don't have any coming up.
Yeah.
No, not yet. Nope.
Now, you say that you got into it for public speaking originally. So was that like to break out of your shell? Were you one of these shy people who couldn't really talk in front of people, or you just wanted to know the finesse of how?
No, what was happening was I do workshops and different types of personal development workshops, and what would happen is I would get nervous and go off on a tangent and then I'd forget what I was talking about. When I was nervous, I'd crack jokes, so I was very animated and like this, so people loved it. They were getting stuff out of it. They were laughing. I couldn't remember what I was talking about, so it was like between the public speaking to help me really become much better at, facilitating workshops. And then I was like, when I get nervous, I crack jokes. So maybe I should figure out how, or there's a way to do that. And literally there is, right? I mean, who knew? So I know it just kind of happened accidentally. There's a big difference between speaking or doing something and just being funny and making people laugh, and intentionally getting up there to make people laugh. It's like
Right.
night and
It's
day. The
two
first one
different
is like,
things.
it's a bonus. You're there to talk about something fluffy, and you're like, they're laughing anyway.
You're just
but-
going off the top of your
Yeah,
head and you're
that's-
running with it.
Yeah,
it's easy.
oh, you're so funny, haha, yeah.
And then you get up in front of people and you're like, oh, now I have to make
I
you
know,
laugh.
yeah.
Like, you're not on any obligation to make them laugh when you're talking,
Yeah.
when you're doing a speech. But when you're on stage, you're like, I got to make these people laugh
Yep.
now. It's
Big
intimidating.
difference, big
And sometimes with the audience, you don't read them. Like, sometimes they're all just looking at you smiling, and they are enjoying the show. But you don't realize
just
that
like-
because they're just, but you want them to laugh
You're
at
like,
you.
laugh at this.
Yeah,
please."
you want them to laugh. So, and sometimes when you're done and you thought, oh my God, I bombed, and they come up to you, that was funny. Oh, you were,
Yeah.
and you're like, you just, sometimes you can't read an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right? Do you
true.
find that? You find them?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how about this? Here, because I hear this from a lot of comics who haven't been doing it long. You'll do a joke, you'll kill with your material. You do the same material at another show, and you don't
It
get the
doesn't
same.
work.
Flat lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You're like,
Hello,
you-
is this working? Hello.
You have such like an uproar when you do the one thing, and you're like, and then you're like, you just feel like an idiot when you're up there. Nobody laughs. It's just like, this worked. It sucks.
But sometimes I found now that I do it longer. Sometimes I just got to get away from the script, veer away from the script, and find something to talk, like Alfred Hitchcock. You
Yeah.
know, like so. You know, I just have to go into something and make people. And then sometimes it's not super funny. It's not polished material. But then I'll take that and I'll say, wow, you know,
Could be.
you know, and it could be.
Yeah.
Minute, yep.
It could be. But the one thing I spoke with your teacher, Rich Walker. I used to speak with him about comedy and about that one circumstance of how come you do the material and the next time. sometimes the idea him and I got, and I had read this also, sometimes you're so confident that you know the jokes are going to get laughs that you're not telling them, because a good joke is telling it like
A
you're,
story.
like it, and like it's the first time.
Right.
Because when you tell something the first time, it's you're either captivated by it, you're
Right.
laughing at it, but then
when
when
it's
you
rehearsed, it just comes out like rehearsed. You got to make it seem like it's
yeah,
first time, every
subconsciously
time.
it comes out like the script.
Yeah.
And I feel stand-up comedy, like what you were saying about public speaking, with stand-up comedians, you have to be in your own head. But when you do improv, you have to be outside of your head. You have to, work with what's around you and the people with you. And I find that with stand-up, it sometimes works better if, all right, you're in your own head with, you know where you're going, the direction, but sometimes you have to get out of that and include the people and find a way.
Right.
And it's not easy.
Yeah.
No. So how do you practice your material? Do you like go home and you're in the mirror and practicing, or you do it in the car while you're driving, or?
All of the above. Not as much the mirror.
No?
Not as much the mirror. To family and friends, I literally would just walk up to people and try new stuff on them, and they'll be like, oh, she's practicing like this.
Yeah.
So that's one, and I could, that's kind of fun. And my family and friends are very gracious with me. They're really good about it. I record, when I do know I'm having a show coming up, I record myself, video record myself,
And you
then
rewatch
watch it.
it.
And I get my timing. Because I move a lot, so the more, when I record myself, it reminds me to like stop going all over the place like
Right.
this. Like, I'm like,
You see what your
Yeah,
what
so
your
it
flaws
helps me,
are,
yeah.
or
And-
what you could tweak to.
Yep. Same thing, I video record shows that I do so I can watch them as well. And then in the car, yes, and mics, open mics when I can get to them. Yep.
How do you like the open mics? What do you think of the atmosphere of the open mics?
Well, I like going, the part I find hard about open mics is not getting laughs. And, I'm there not laughing either, and I don't mean to not, right? I mean, so I certainly want to be supportive, and I am. But we're all just kind of sitting there maybe thinking about our own stuff or whatever. You keep hearing the same things over and over again. So I try to get to different mics, but then that's harder too. I live on Long Island. I work in the city. I'm in school.
It's hard to commute all over the place.
It's hard to make it to so many. So when you keep going to the same mic over and over again, it's this great group of people that you know, and you all know each other, and you know my 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, let me practice again.
Yeah.
know,
That's
so-
what it's there for. Half
Yeah.
the time, they're not listening to your
I
new
know,
stuff
yeah.
anyway. They're not listening to your old stuff. So you might as well
Yeah.
just practice
Yeah.
and polish
But the
what
audience
you
is
do
all
have.
comics nowadays,
Yeah.
which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for, I mean, it's sad that you don't have
An
just
audience.
an audience of people who appreciate comedy.
Yeah.
But it's important because I'll recognize now, a decent joke, it'll start, I count it in like sentences. I might be starting off futzing around with like 8, 10 sentences, and it's literally going to trim down to like 3, 4, let's
Right.
say. But it's in that beginning, it's like, say it this way, like, would you like green eggs and ham? Do you want it on a boat? Do you want it with a goat? You kind of like have to play with it so much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
You write down something, then you do it
Yeah.
another way,
It
then
just
you do it
morphs
another
and
way,
morphs
then you
and
do it another way,
changes, yep.
until you find it and it perfects. But
Yeah.
it takes time.
Yeah.
It's not easy
Yeah,
to
it's
just
like-
sit down and go, I want to write a joke today. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, you're not. You're going to write that joke, and then maybe in like a month and a half, 2 months from now, it's going to maybe turn into something worth using.
I've shelved material and brought it back
Yeah.
with made it fresher,
Mm-hmm.
and it works.
Yeah.
And I'm been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, I have a ton of stuff in the works all the time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're having so much fun talking
Yes.
that we're going to go to a video. We're going to go to Cooking Italiano.
With Alfredo Guguz.
And then we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. You're watching The Gagooch Show on Madhouse TV. Ciao, my friends. Alfredo Gagooch, the celebrity chef. And before we go to part 2 of Alfredo Gagooch cooks fettuccine Alfredo, which was, don't forget, invented by Alfredo Di Lilio in Rome. And before we go to that, remember I told you a bigger lesson last time. When you cook, you're gonna need this. You need 2 wooden spoons One wooden spoon you use. You stir it, what do you make it? Okay, you stir, what do you make it? And then the other one, you gotta heat the kids a little bit. I don't know one Italiano who wasn't not afraid of a wooden spoon. I'm not talk abuse, but one time you need a little bit under the behind, a scarabinga. Scarabinga, learn it to cook and be a good kid. Be good to your parents, love your parents because they love you. Remember, I tell you, I come from the town into Sicily. Cotta Bolotta. We make the best ricotta. Ding, 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 ding. I'm still stirring over here. Ding, 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 ding. I like to dance. You like to dance? I like to eat. I like to dance. I'm gonna kill you not. And then you gotta have the Parmesan. I got a nice fresh Parmesan here. We're gonna grate it right on top. I gotta make it a fettuccine Alfredo originale, and I'm gonna make it for you. You shut off of the heat. You take a drain of the pasta. Go easy, go very slow. You don't want to burn yourself, then your wife will never let you in the kitchen again. Now here you go. Here's the traditional originale Alfredo Goguzza Fettuccine Alfredo. Alfredo Delilio, huh? You know, I'm no kidding you not. I'm just a joker with you. And here's the new modern version. You go to a restaurant, you're gonna get this with the cream. You put your own cheese, a little black pepper. Ah, bella, che bella. So now go, enjoy, eat. I'm hungry. I'm about to eat the cameraman. Now remember, and don't forget, Alfredo Gaguzzi, he loves you. Ciao. I'm making this up as I go along.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
And we're back on the Gagoot Show with Ann Gambina. All right, so we have a few more questions for you. Were you like a class clown, or you were like silly in school, or were you quiet? Like, what was your story when growing up?
Early in school, I was pretty quiet, but by the time I got into college, then I was definitely more outspoken, more of a class clown.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Not when I was young, though. Yeah.
what was your worst gig you've had?
A show I produced on my own. It just happened recently. Very small crowd. Most people I didn't know.
This is the doctor's office.
How are you today, sir? You're.
I have a doctor appointment.
Okay. We're gonna have to find a doctor. 'Cause
This is not the doctor's office.
no,
This is not a good day.
this is not the doctor's. You're actually on the set of a show right now.
No, it can't be. It's not a good day. I woke up this morning, I found another gray hair. It's terrible. It's terrible. But I get through my day. I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot. How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. I've got rhythm. I've got music. I've got my gal, who could ask for anything more? Old man Trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more?
Frank Scafuri, ladies and gentlemen.
Very impressive. Very
Frank's
impressive.
waiting room.
I got distracted.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Here he is.
Hello.
Welcome, Frank.
Welcome
Thanks
onto
very
the
much for
show.
having me.
Thank you for
That
coming
was
out.
wonderful.
Oh,
That was
thanks
excellent.
very much. Thank you.
Oh man.
So it's not the doctor's office.
No.
We have a lot of questions to ask you
You
about.
do? Okay.
Now, you do this, we showed you video earlier, chiropractical joke.
Oh, yeah. One of
How
my
many
favorites.
hits have you gotten on?
That one, as of yesterday, was 7,240, I think. It's amazing. Every day it goes up like 40. And it's only been out for about 6 weeks.
Oh wow.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really, the first one I ever did, which was 13 months ago, I never intended to do it. I just went to a doctor because I had a pain in my neck. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at all the people in the patients, and they're just sitting there, right? They're looking at their phones, the TV's on, nothing's going on, and it's kind of boring. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I just stood up and sang this song? I went to Juilliard, I've had music in my life all my life. So I thought, when I finished singing, wouldn't it be funny if the nurse simply came over and said, Mr. Scafuri, the doctor will see you now. So I thought, oh, that's funny. So I go in, I get the neck looked at, and I told the doctor what I was thinking about. And I said, let me put it on a piece of paper for you, a proposal. He said, you can shoot it. So I said, okay. So I went in there with 2 friends and my sister-in-law. They had their iPhones. I go back in my tux, my overcoat, my walker. I did it. I go in, I sit down. I struck up a conversation with a woman. She said to me, "You look okay. How do you feel?" And I said the same thing that I said to you. I didn't feel good. I had gray hair, this morning. And then I burst into I got rhythm. And then the nurse, who had to be a part of it, she really was a nurse, she said, "Mr. Scafuri, the doctor will see you now." So, then I got up on the walker and left. And so, 3 days later, there was like 13,000 hits.
Wow.
And now you do this to cheer people up? You do
I did it to cheer people up, but I never intended to make that first video. I said, you know what? I'm 63, and I still want more. So I thought, let me just see how far I can go with this. So I've made 9 videos.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
very
been a lot of fun, and people do enjoy it. I'm bringing a lot of laughter.
I see the audience in Chiropractical Joker. They really enjoy it.
It's funny. I mean, the concept of it, you just walking into a waiting room and singing. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
When we watched the video, though, and
Yeah.
you said, though, and we were both saying, don't people find it strange that you go into a doctor's office in a tuxedo?
Well, how about this one? The last one I did, which came out about 2 weeks ago. Wouldn't you find it strange that a guy walks in with a cowboy hat carrying a saddle on a walker in a doctor's waiting room?
And what's the name of that one?
That one is called Frank's Waiting Western Medicine. I brought an Annie wannabe into a doctor's office with me. She had the red dress, the curly hair, and she tapped. She tap danced while I sang. And I brought a ventriloquist with me.
That's fun.
And a friend who is an actress, because I needed a nurse, a real actress to do the part of the nurse. And we did a trio. You know the song from Guys and Dolls, "I got the horse right here,
Yeah.
his name is Paul Revere."
She knows it.
So we didn't do that. But no, we didn't do that because the ventriloquist was actually the dummy. And the dummy was actually the real person. And, if he gets the shot, if the dummy gets the shot, then he could sing because he lost his voice and he can't sing anymore. So I got the shot right here, da-da-da-da-da-da. So that was a lot of fun. I got an email from somebody in another country the other day, and he said, he put it on Facebook. He put his reply on Facebook after he saw one of my videos. He said, "As I sit here getting my chemotherapy, I feel very sad, but when I watch Frank Scafuri's videos, it brings such joy and happiness." And then he writes, "Everybody must like this on Facebook and share it." And I replied back to the guy in a private
that
message
was very
saying,
nice.
that's better than applause. That's better than any of
Give a
those."
clap out shout out to that guy.
Well, the
That's
reason
awesome.
that I found out about you, and you know the answer to this, I found out about you from my wife.
Nancy.
Nancy?
They love the way I say my wife, Nancy.
My wife, Nancy.
But Nancy said, and then she spoke to you and you messaged me on Facebook.
Yes, that's right.
Because Nancy was like, "You're going to get a message from Frank Scafuri, and you better put him on the show because he's great."
That's very nice of you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. But no, Nancy was great. Nancy loves you.
No,
And from what I understand,
I've never met her, but she sounds like such a great person.
She's very fun.
Really, really nice.
We have to have Nancy as a guest one.
no.
No.
On my vacation day. Do I get
Okay.
vacation day?
Yeah, when you get a vacation day, she's going to swap you for her.
You bring her on.
Yeah.
You'll be calling me up. "Benny, get on the plane. We need you." No, I love my wife. I mean, we've been together a long time.
That's
And we have an understanding, Nancy and I. She understands I'm a little crazy, and I understand she's off her friggin' rocker.
Well, I'm going to be married 40 years
Wow. God bless you.
next year, and it's thank you. My wife. Everybody comes up to my wife and they say, "What's it like living with him all the time?" Well, when it was our first year of marriage, it was, "Oh wow, we have so much fun together." Now it's, "You really want to know?" After 40 years.
40 years, God bless
A long
you.
time.
God bless you.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Anyway, we're having so much fun that we're going to take a break, and then we're all going to be on the couch.
All right.
So,
We'll be right back here on The Gagoot Show on Madhouse TV.
I'm Tommy Marr.
I'm down in St. Bart's having a good time. A lot of people at this time, they like to go have a little cocktail. But you know what I do? I'm going to watch MadhouseTV.com. You got that right. I'm Tommy Marr. I'm down in St. Bart's having a good time. A lot of people at this time, they like to go have a little cocktail. But you know what I do? I'm going to watch MadhouseTV.com. You got that right.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! It's like you got I don't. Power.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power. It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
And we're back. You're watching The Gagoot Show on Madhouse TV with our great guests, Ann Gambina, Frank Scafuri, and Stephen Parrillo.
I'm back. Look at this.
Yeah.
I am back. Where was I?
All right, so Nicole had a question she wanted to ask Frank.
Yeah, I wanted to know, is
You're
this...
Frank.
You're Frank.
You'd
Yes.
be needing to answer that.
Do you do stand-up as well? Do you?
I
Or,
usually sit. That's the only. No, I don't do stand-up. As I said, I never intended to do this. I'm a singer. This may flip you out. I have been a church musician for like 35 years.
do you play instruments?
Organ, bringing concerts in, directing the choir, but I gave that up 5 years ago while still taking auditions for commercials and things like that. But I've never done stand-up. No.
No. Well, you're very funny.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Everybody here.
very entertaining.
You're all
Okay,
great.
I have a question for Ann. Ann, who were your favorite comedians growing up?
Whoopi Goldberg, number one.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Growing up?
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah.
And who was your favorite
George
now?
Carlin. Who's my favorite comedian now?
Stephen Parrillo.
Wow, really?
Say Benny.
You know what?
Benny.
That's an excellent question. Now that I'm doing comedy, you know what? That's an excellent question. I have to think about that. So many people I watch.
I saw Whoopi a few months ago.
She was in Connecticut?
Nancy and I. No,
Right,
in
Nancy.
the Paramount.
Oh, okay.
My wife Nancy. Yeah, Stephen. Yeah, Nancy and I. We saw her she was at the Paramount.
Yeah.
Very funny. Really good. She doesn't do all the characters anymore
Yeah.
though, which is you expect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Do we have
question.
another? You have a question?
You also do a show at that restaurant in
Villa Maria.
Villa Maria. That's it. No, not Villa Monaco. Villa
Right.
Maria. See that? Tell
You
us.
still do it?
I do, yes. About once a month, bring in,
Was that what we were going with before when we started asking? I said, what was your worst gig? And you're like, I did that.
Oh, yeah.
The callbacks. We made it.
You were in that show. No, that didn't make it my worst gig. that actually helped me tremendously to have someone there. You know, when you have an off night, that you have someone you know there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it was a small crowd. It was all people I knew. It just didn't. The show didn't get a lot of seats, and I just had an off night, so it was tough.
It
That's
happens.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Off
you have a
night.
cover charge at that show? Is there-
Yeah, well, it's pay one price for dinner and the show's included. So, and the food's phenomenal.
Monthly? This is monthly?
Yep. Yeah.
When,
Yeah.
We'll talk about this after.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, Benny, we have a show because I'm like, well, how's the food? You have a menu
know.
on you? You happen to know- know the prices? Do they have salmon?
Oh, goodness gracious. Do you find that being a female comedian, you get treated differently than any male comedians?
I don't know. I'm sure. Obviously, we have to, right? Obviously, we have to.
I think
but,
we do.
You know, but not to. I don't have any I'm not
Like
negative
horror
or
stories
resentment
of-
or
yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Have you, she never did. Have you ever dated another comedian?
No.
See, she's smart.
Smart. She's a smart woman. Don't ever do that. It's terrible. It's terrible.
There are a few
Oh, that's wordplay!
It's very terrible.
Wait a minute. You can't be saying don't date comedians. I'm a comedian. Is that why I don't date?
No,
you
no,
can't
no,
date
the
other-
other
date
comedians.
Another
Comedians
comedian.
dating each other.
Yeah.
You'll
I'm
outdo
sorry.
each other
I
with
know.
each
There
other.
are rare. There are rare comedian couples, but very rare.
Yeah, there's
Even
a
in-
few.
There's a few, but
We should have the couples on the show.
Yeah, that'd be nice, like Jess and Tim.
I want Jessica and Tim to be on
They're
the
great
show.
people.
Jessica Colazzo and Tim Thompson, two hilarious, very funny people.
Yeah.
Vinny
And we
Mark.
could have Hugh and Keegan and Hugh.
Yeah.
They're basically a couple.
Me,
Not you, because everybody thinks we're together anyway.
I saw Mike Keegan rubbing your back and everything at his show.
I'm jealous.
He's like a puppy. He's like a rabid dog.
Oh Lord. So Frank,
is that
do
okay to air?
you have any other videos that you have in mind that you're gonna bring up
Yeah.
next that you're working on?
Yeah, actually, I have a desk with a pad on it. There are like 5 or 6 more that I know what I want to do and where I want to do them. You know, the whole thing is you have to get the consent of the doctor.
Right.
That's important. And then after you shoot the video, you know, you have to ask people, would you like to be in this? If so, you have to sign a release.
Right.
If you've seen some of the videos, you'll see some faces are blocked out, you know, because some people had a problem with being in it for whatever reason. There were 2 people that couldn't be in it for legal reasons because they were in the middle of a lawsuit.
Oh.
And they couldn't have their faces shown.
Do you know Harry Freeman?
No.
He's a comedian, but he's also is he also a doctor? I believe so.
I
don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
He talks a lot about being like in the medical practice in his act. So it
Yeah,
might
but
be,
they're all jokes. You know, they're all.
Still, he's saying maybe he could work.
even if he's
for
not a
free.
doctor, he can make a very convincing doctor.
Yeah.
All right, but I don't know if he has an office or
No,
anything.
I don't know either, but he talks a lot. I know it because he talks a lot about it in his act.
There was one video I thought I was going to have a problem making and finding a location for it. It involved bringing a Hawaiian dancer in, a
Oh.
hula dancer, into the waiting room. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I told you I was a church musician, right? So I got a call to fill in as a substitute organist in Freeport at a Catholic church. There I was playing the organ. The singer was up there on the altar. After it was over, a member of the congregation came over and said, I love the way you played the organ. You know, I've never heard it played like that, blah, 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 blah. And I always politely say, well, thank you very much. You know, what do you do? He said, I'm in physical therapy. I said, thank you, God. So I said, where's your practice? He said, well, it's right around the corner. You know, this is what I do. Here's my card. I shoot videos in doctors' waiting rooms. I want you to do this.
Oh.
I said, this may go a little bit far-fetched. I need to bring a Hawaiian dancer in. He says, that's not a problem. I said, thank you, God. I shot it. It was great. It was called Frank's Waiting Merry Hanukkah. It was great.
I also have one more question. Do you know Joey Petroni?
I do know Joey. Great comedian.
Yes. Now I've seen you do things with him, like from photos and videos. Like that, he does a thing where is that you who does a thing where like he gets up, you're in the crowd and you get up and sing.
He wanted me to interrupt his act.
That was it. Yeah.
And you know, it was really going far. Some man was shouting out, "Get off the stage! This is a fundraiser!"
That was because I saw that picture that we posted on Facebook
yeah.
of him standing there with you singing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that same video that I saw. So I'm like, that's the guy from the video. Oh my God!
The guy was shouting, "This is not about you! It's a fundraiser!"
Oh, how funny.
But there were some other people that have called me and said, "Could you please come and interrupt my act?" And because they said I've always wanted somebody to interrupt my act. You know, but it's part of it. So if there's anybody else that wants me to interrupt the act, let me know.
Ann happened to have been at a show where I was doing my act, and some guy got up interrupting, and they thought he wanted to kill me because he was offended by my Sicilian jacket.
Oh my gosh!
Ann was there, and
So extreme.
people thought that this guy was a plant.
Yeah, we did.
People thought, but
Because it was that bizarre. The guy's reaction was so,
what was great about it
outrageous.
was it made the rest of the night fun.
yeah.
Because then all the comics had something to say. Evan Weiss got up and he said, why did the Italian cross the road? Because he didn't like Sicilians. Is that right? Well,
He didn't get stabbed for that though. That's the thing. He knows about it. It's not like he wasn't there. Come on, everyone knows.
He was the victim.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, this guy and Ann happened to be there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
we did. We thought it was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
they
Like,
thought,
oh,
yeah.
this is not made up. This guy's really this mad about something stupid.
People say the funniest
Oh,
things.
man.
I had a woman come up to me, a little old lady come up to me after I finished singing one time, and she goes, "Oh, I love the way you sang this, and I love the way you sang that." She says, "I want you to sing at my funeral." So I
Oh my
said,
God.
"Give me a date." But people come up with all these things. That must have been really odd that night, though. That night.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
And
know.
we had just met.
But I felt so bad for you because here we're all thinking, then all of a sudden you realize, oh no, this guy's totally going off. like totally put a spin on, thinking what
Yeah.
you must have been going through.
I couldn't
Yeah.
even,
What'd you do
I couldn't
back?
even deal with him. I couldn't even try. I
Either,
tried
so
to talk to
I
him.
can't even.
He wouldn't. He was going so nuts and everything that I just looked at. It was Les Deegan. I said, Les, I'm
Yeah.
done because I couldn't talk. I
Yeah.
said, I'm done. I got up, but during this time, Nancy took her cell phone and she put 911 and showed the guy, look, I'm gonna dial 911, so get up and leave.
Oh my God.
So he got up and left, and then he left, and then it got clear, so I went back.
Yeah, he
I
went
went
back,
back to the mic, and Les
Yeah.
said, wait a minute, and he took the mic and said, okay, we're going to go back into our recently interrupted Sicilian portion of the show. And I got up, and I just went back, I did my material, and then I had my timer set, and my timer actually went off just like a minute before I was doing my closing bit. So I only lost about 2 minutes.
It's like the horror movie that Rob Sevidanis was talking about, Open Mic 3, the Bill Morbine.
Oh yeah.
Open Mic 2, the Lizard Lounge, and then there's Open Mic.
Oh goodness.
Wow.
Well, we had a lot of fun here with you guys today. We had a great time having everyone on the show, and thank you so
Great
much for
time.
coming down.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having
Thank
us.
you.
This
It was
is
a
great.
blast.
Good luck to you.
Wow, you
Thank
guys,
you.
had, you
Oh,
guys had a good time?
Yeah,
Wow,
I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
Well, it's on camera, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Of
much. It
course
was a
I
fun
did.
show.
Thank you,
Doesn't
thank you.
1 hour go like that?
It does.
really
It goes
does.
really
10
fast.
minutes.
Yeah.
And very fast.
Are we done?
Okay.
Are we done?
And
I'm not sure if we're over or not.
I don't know.
I don't
So
know,
we-
so let's just,
Tell us a joke.
So anyway, Steve, you want to help me? I got some plastic bags I want to dump at Gilgo later.
Oh, yeah.
You were supposed to help me.
We're back.
Where'd you put the last ones?
Oh, we are here. Were they burlap bags?
What?
Were they
No,
burlap bags?
plastic
Oh, they're
bags.
plastic
Filled with
bags.
Lysol. No.
Filled with Lysol.
I guess.
And what was the other thing now? Lysol, and what was the other thing we were talking about
Oh.
before?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. Anyway, we're done here for tonight. Thank you.
Oh, we're still talking.
Oh, we're still going.
We're still going
we have
strong.
a timer issue?
I think
As
we
if we
do.
don't have a good timer.
Oh. Anyway.
But you guys are having fun. What's that feel like?
It's a good feeling. It
So-
warms my heart.
Any shows coming? Well, I asked you that already. Frank, you have
Any more
another-
Dr. Office videos coming up?
Coming up?
Actually, I'm doing something on Thursday
And people can find your videos
on
on.
Frank's Waiting Room. That's all one word on Facebook. And they'll find press releases. I've been really fortunate. Press releases. Channel 12 interviewed me.
Channel 12.
AOL posted it on Eye Opener. This has been a knockout year.
Wow.
A
And
knockout year.
my wife told me there's a
13
few.
months.
Oh, wow.
My wife said there's a few talk shows that have a little bit of an interest.
Yeah. Well, I can't talk about that.
Okay.
That's just about it, even though they're talk shows.
All right, so we gotta wrap it up here now.
Yeah,
All right,
we
we're
gotta
gonna
wrap
wrap
it
it up.
up for real
All right.
this time.
Happy
All right.
Thanksgiving.
Steve and I have to go to Gilgo Beach to drop off a package, and have a great. Everybody have a wonderful week. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next Tuesday on the Gagoot Show.
Same time, same place.
Same
Good.
place,
Yeah.
same set.
Good night, all. Thank you.
Good night.